Well, hello everybody. It's Ronnie with Whip and Chain, and I want to do a series of tutorials talking about Graphgans. They're a lot of fun, but they are a lot of work, and I don't mean hard work in the actual crocheting part. They just take a lot of time for setups and understanding the graphs that you're following and all that good happy stuff. So first, I want to start at a beginning, which I think is the best thing to do, and talk about a Graphgan. There are two types that I know of personally of Graphgans. You can follow an actual graft like this one. I need to cover up because this is not a free pattern. How to buy this book. But this is a doggy paw, and what it is, it's let me try to bring it in a little closer. Can you see? There's squares going all the way through. Each square is identified, and it'll tell you, the graph will tell you what color. It'll mark the color by the shade, and like a corner to corner, this starts on the corner. So this corner block is 1 and 1 on each side. Okay. So when you go to row 2, there's 2 blocks, and so forth and so forth and so forth. And that is how you identify what each block color is going to be. Okay. Does that make sense? I hope I'm saying it right. So, and each Graphgan will usually tell you the graph size, if you can see that. I don't know. Okay, this one is 60 wide by 70 high. Now, if you follow the written instructions, which I think is so much better than the graphed, and the reason I feel that way, when you're following the graphed, you can accidentally look at a bottom at a bottom square and get them mixed up very easily. When you're working, following directions, you can mark off each time you do a row. And what's nice about the directions, it'll give you a total. For the navy blue color, you have 1,573 squares. Let me zoom you out a little bit so you can see. And for the light blue, you'll have 1,651. And for the green and the light green, it'll tell you how many blocks are going to be each color. And there's another thing. When you're doing a corner to corner, there is, like any other blanket, there is a good side, right side, and there's the reverse side. And if you look, right side, wrong side, right side, wrong side, right side, wrong side. So what I do is I'll put a stitch marker on my blanket, and I usually put it on the front. That's usually that's my go-to. And so what I'll do on the thing that I'm doing is I'll mark. I used a red stitch marker and that indicates right side. Because when you put this project down and pull it up again later, you don't need to know that. Critical, because that can throw everything off. Okay. Now, for your first Graphgan, I would recommend one that's maybe 2 or 3 colors at the most. Me being as stubborn as I am, I dove in and tried one. I think it was 5 colors, and I did not learn how to weave my ends in properly, and it came apart. Very devastating to me. But to get started for a Graphgan, you should figure out how much you're going to need of each color. When you got that, you're going to want to look at your projects pictures And I'm trying to find something. You're going to try to look at your project's pictures. And as you're going to do it, you're going to see, oh, I used this color here. And then I'm going to break and use this color for 3. Then I'm going to break and use this color. And so forth, and so forth, and so forth. In Graphgans, my personal recommendation is you do not carry colors for more than 1 block. If you start carrying a color for multiple blocks, because you're, like on here, you have 3 blocks, just say these are black, and then you've got to go back to gray. Oh, let me carry my gray through these blocks. When your Graphgan is done and you have it, you're showing it, when you're showing it, you're going to be able to see through that blanket and see that you carried that yarn. It's just, it doesn't look pretty. It doesn't look uniform. So that being said, you're going to need tiny little yarn balls. And the way I'm explaining that is you take your colors that you're using. And what I did is I just wrapped some yarn like this. If they're really small spaces, you don't need a ton of yarn. And then is wrap a little tiny little ball. I don't even know if I'd call it a ball. And cut the yarn. And I would attach. Okay, here's my gray for this section. Then I need a different color, which is not, this is not a good example, but then I need this color for this section. You don't need a lot. And then you go back again to the gray, so you would need another gray, and then the purple, and back and forth for each of these alternated sections. And then when you're into the paw, so say you're doing your gray, 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 gray. Oh, now we're into the black. But we got black, 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 and then we have another small section of the gray. So you'll need your black color, and then you'll need a little ball of gray to hook into there. And this is where Graphgans can get extremely scary if you're not sure what you're doing. And that's why I recommend an easier toned first project, which could be something in the realm of this. Now take away the border. Say we're just looking at the actual moose and the blanket. So for the blanket, you would have your white ball, which actually could travel all the way up. You would need your black ball for, or whatever color gray, whatever color you're using for these. So you would have, the white would keep carrying, and the black would keep carrying. Then you would need white right here. Then your black could keep carrying. Or you could just do enough black where it stops and then use one full ball for the majority of the moose. So actually doing this moose is a lot easier than doing the paw that I showed you. So that's just a few examples. But what I wanted to do is I'm going to show you what I mean with carrying yarn. Okay, here's another one. So start with my gray. Say my very first square. On the chart is saying it's gray, which is fine. So I chain my 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4th chain down from the bottom. 2, 3. I put in a double crochet. And then I put 1 double crochet in each of the remaining. Okay, that's my corner in my corner to corner. So what I want to do is turn it, and it's saying the next two of the corner to corner are also gray. So I'll chain my 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, chain 1, 2. I'll do my double crochet. Okay. So then I come over here, and it's saying that this is also gray. So I do my 3. I do your 3 double crochets, 2 and 3. But when you put in your third, anchor it to the side. That'll help keep everything in place. So then I turn it. Now it's saying in my line 3, it's saying my first square, 6, 1, 2, is gray. So I happily do my gray. 1, 2, 3. But now it's saying this square, my next one, is purple. So I go in, but I don't grab the gray. I drop the gray, and I pick up my purple. Now you never tie your ends, okay? So make sure you leave enough of a tail where you can weave it in. Bring it up, go through, and then you chain your 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then you put your 3 double crochets in this one. 1, 2, and 3. Now you still have your gray attached for this side, but now you have your purple attached. And let's say the next square is also supposed to be purple. So you slip stitch, you chain 3, and you put in your 3 double crochets. But remember, your last one, please anchor it. And 3. Okay. So then you turn, and it's saying this one's purple, but this next one is gray. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You go down to your 4th one. You do your double crochets. 1, 2, 3. But they're saying, like I said, this next one is gray. But my gray yarn is all the way over here. So I would need another ball to come in and slip stitch. To make this gray. And this is what I'm talking about with having just little balls, because they're going to be all over this Graphgan. But that's okay. That's the whole point. This is by changing the colors like this. This is how you get your pictures. And they're stunning. They turn out really, really nice. But we have a lot to talk about on Graphgans, and I would love to do one together with everybody. But I would love everybody to leave comments on maybe a simple pattern we could do. We could maybe do a daisy. If you want to do the moose, let's do the moose. Like I said, the paw print does look like it's a little, but if we take the border out, we could even do the paw print. I'm sure there's hundreds of other ideas out there. So please, when you take the time to watch this video, think about what maybe you might be interested in seeing. And maybe I can help you from there. So I will be doing more videos on Graphgans. They do take time, but once you understand them, the choices are endless. So I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Until then, have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.